Welcome to the Hog Reaction Show, the only show where you can give your post-game takes on the air. Call or text into the Cherokee Casino hotline, 877-377-6963. Our reactions, your reactions, all the reactions start right now.
And welcome inside our ESPN Arkansas studios for Hog Reaction. Phil Elson with Ty Richardson. We are live on all of our affiliates right now. Might be listening to us across the River Valley on 95.3 ESPN or ESPN 96.3 Hot Springs. Hello to our listeners in ESPN 104.3 in Harrison and ESPN Northwest Arkansas 99.5. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Lee Creek at the Cherokee Casino and Hotel, where later on they're having Steve Werner at the casino, four-time Grammy winner. You want to go over and see him. All right, so let's dive into this. Another blowout loss for Arkansas, 48-7 against the top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. Puts the Hogs at 2-6 this year. 16 straight SEC losses. And I don't know, Pence pretty much went about the way you might have thought it would go, even without the nation's top quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa dressed out. Arkansas could not stop Alabama. And you know what, Ty? You give them a short field too often, that's what's going to happen. Wouldn't matter who's at quarterback. It would only matter the fact that you're dealing with a short field and a defense that just got overwhelmed today, time and time again. Not a lot to rest your laurels on defensively. And if you want to look for a bright spot offensively, it was in the spot of John Stephen Jones in the last quarter. But that's about it for Arkansas. Got to tell you, Ty, you know these 2 weeks, 51-10 loss to Auburn, 48-7 to Alabama. It's rough. You know, 5 straight losses now for Arkansas. The good news is you're playing a team in Mississippi State that right now is also playing pretty bad football, getting blown out by Texas A&M. So maybe you feel like you've already walked the plank, and it couldn't get much worse than it is right now.
Yeah, they've kind of had similar situations with Arkansas in the fact that they keep going back on quarterback, whether it's Tommy Stevens, whether it's Garrett Schrader, and Joe Moorhead. For all we can criticize Chad Morris for this season, it seems like that Joe Moorhead, Phil, is getting just as frustrated by his fans, just like Chad Morris is by Arkansas. I mean, there are a lot of Mississippi State fans that are angry right now, whether it's Kylan Hill's production down the stretch, whether it's the fact that they're sitting where they are at this point of the season when they thought year 2 would be a lot better, and especially coming after last year when you have Nick Fitzgerald, Montez Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, and a bunch of studs that went on to go to the NFL. You thought the team was going to be a lot better than they were. And he's in year 2. He's not getting the support that many thought he would because the production hasn't been there from a winning standpoint, Phil.
Well, I want to hear what you've got to say. Our Cherokee Casino hotline is open for you. That's good for a call or a text, 877-377-6963. You can also react to us on Twitter at Hit That Line AR. I'm at Phil Elson PXP. Ty is at Ty Sports Radio. So what do you say we start a quarterback play, Ty? And it looked like Ben Hicks, perhaps physically not up to the task with a sore shoulder suffered last week against Auburn. Nick Starkel had nearly as many interceptions as completions, finishing 5 for 19 in the air with 3 interceptions. Starkel throwing for a total of 58 yards. And, it's partially it's on Starkel. A lot of it's got to be on the offensive line. I got to say, your wide receivers were barely even involved in the ball game. Trey Knox got one target. Traylon Burks catches 1 pass with a couple of targets. C.J. O'Grady really wasn't involved until the last drive. All you could settle for were some screen passes to your running backs. And it just seems to be the big bugaboo here for Chad Morris and Joe Cradican. Now they're more than season and a half at Arkansas. Settling on a quarterback has been difficult. And then when those guys have been on the field, it's been difficult to, justify sticking with those quarterbacks as well.
It's just been tough, and we've talked about it for so long that you just, regardless of who it is, Arkansas fans don't care if it's Hicks, Starkel, John Stephen Jones, if it's whoever, come off the bench or get in or start in the football game and have a productive stretch of games. Not just one game, not just a half, but multiple stretch of games. And you've got to be able to string them together. But these quarterbacks, and it's partially because of these young receivers not lining up where they're supposed to. It's partially because they don't have a great offensive line, which gives them time to throw the football. It's just a difficult situation to be in right now, Phil. And it's defense as well. I mean, you can look at so many sides of the football. I actually thought Sam Loy played pretty good tonight when he had the opportunity to punt. A couple of his almost got blocked, but I thought he played good. And how many times this season we've been able to say that? It's just
I have to laugh, though, when it's like, that's what you point to. That's the thing you point to, is that the punter finally had himself a good game. 6 punts. And Alabama only punts twice, and they didn't even punt once until late in the third quarter, I think. So just the fact of bringing up the punter alone that early, I mean, tells you all you need to see. And look, I mean, you have skill players at the skill positions that can do some things for you, but either there is no time to get the ball out to them, or there's no accuracy in order to get the ball to them as well. I'm shocked to see that Trey Knox barely even got involved in the game today. I mean, and I like Traylon Burks, but if there's one receiver that you want to get the ball to, if you got any shot at all, man, you got to get the ball to Trey Knox. And I mean, that look, if you're drawing up a scheme, if you're figuring out ways to get fast players, skill players, the ball with open space, that's up to the coaches to get it done. And the fact that your wide receivers caught one ball, that's it, one ball. I'm sure they were targeted a few more than just once, but just one catch. That says it all. No time to throw. When you did throw, it was inaccurate. And offensively, I mean, you really just want to ball up these last 2 weeks, throw them in the garbage, and try to move along, which I think is exactly what Chad Morris tried to get to in his post-game comments, saying, well, we're moving into November, and we're on to Mississippi State.
I don't know if you saw the incident, and I didn't see it because I was at home just watching the game on TV, but several of the Arkansas media members that were in attendance, Phil, said that Traylon Burks was yelling at Nick Starkel for something, and they said,
really?
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. We talked about last week, would the Auburn game potentially be the undoing for this football team? If they just got smashed and just the locker room crumbled apart, would that be the undoing? And I don't know if this is we'll see what happens when the Bulldogs come to town next week, but I think players are getting frustrated with each other, and I think players, whether it's offense or defense, are getting frustrated with the quarterback position because you know this, Phil. Everyone listening knows this. When you're the quarterback of a good football team, you get all the glory. Regardless of how many other good players are on the team, you're the one that people look to. You're the potential Heisman candidate. But when your team's not any good, you get all the pushback. You get all the punishment. You get all the different pushback from fans, players, coaches, whatever it may be. It is a catch-22 football position. So I'm wondering, we've heard about the chemistry of these guys, that they really like these young receivers. I'm wondering if that's separating a little bit. This team, again, has won 2 football games all season long. There's a lot of these freshmen, Phil, that came out of programs that aren't used to losing football games. This is new to them. They're used to winning. They're used to going to win state championships, playoff games, whatever it may be. This is a stretch for them that they probably have never experienced in their career. So how they react to that is going to be so important for this future of the football program.
You know, in the first 3 losses of this losing streak, at least you felt that there was a chance to win, right? You know, I mean, you know what I always say, bad teams lose close games, and that's what Arkansas did for 3 weeks. But at least you could walk away feeling, you know, if this happened, if that happened, one play here, one play there, maybe there's a different outcome. There's nothing you could say about these last 2 games there could be a different outcome other than the fact that you've got much more talent on the other side of the field and programs that are in much, much different places, to the point now where Arkansas in the last 3 weeks has lost to a wide receiver playing quarterback in Lynn Bowden with Kentucky, a freshman, a true freshman, albeit a talented one, in Bo Nix last week at Auburn, and now this week, Mac Jones. I tell you what, it looks like the guy can play a little bit. He really does. 18 of 22, 235 yards. He was mostly accurate, threw 3 touchdowns. And look, when you've got Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy and Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, they're going to make you look good. I think Mac Jones, though, helped them look good today as well. All right, let's go to the Cherokee Casino hotline. First man up today, Isaac in Searcy. Good evening, Isaac. You're on Hog Reaction.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing good. What's up?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, just like a lot of other Arkansas fans out there, that, how do we come back from this? I mean, it's just like quick 3-and-outs with our offense, just continuously. I mean, the reason that we're getting run up and down the field on defense is because I feel like our guys are so exhausted just because of a lack of offense. And I feel like a big key point of this would be our offensive line, Like, I just don't think that, any of our quarterbacks, Starkle and Hicks, I know they get a lot of controversy. And, like you said, Mac Jones did a real good job tonight. But I just feel like they don't have enough time, Like, we can't get a good play out. And I just, would like to hear, your take on it and see, what needs to happen for our offense to get going again back in the old days, No,
Isaac, I think you make a really good point, and that's one thing why you really hated to see Tykees Crawford, the offensive tackle from East Texas, 4-star recruit, decommitted a couple of weeks ago. I think he was visiting LSU today for their game against Auburn.
That's going to be a tough atmosphere to turn down, Phil.
No kidding. Even in the rain, even in the driving rain. I mean, this is an offensive line that really needs to be rebuilt, and it takes some time to do that. Look, nobody wants to hear that. It takes time to build a football program up. There is no position or no unit, offensive unit or defensive unit, that takes more time to really rebuild and get them to gel and have the right players at the right place and hope you're not riddled with injuries, which, by the way, this offensive line is riddled with injuries. Look, it's where everything starts. But right now, your offensive line and your quarterback just aren't working very well together, no matter who's been out there. And you can't put the struggles offensively, on your running backs. Rakeem Boyd and Devwall Whaley, they're fine. These are players that could shine given the opportunity. Traylon Burks, Trey Knox, Mike Woods, same thing. Cheyenne O'Grady could play on any team in this nation and do very well, as he does with Arkansas. But when you have an offensive line that's struggling to open holes, struggling to give your quarterback even a moment to look and see who's open and let the play develop, yes, there's no doubt. The number one problem for this offense right now is the offensive line. Then it goes to the quarterback, and it filters on down from there. Isaac, appreciate the phone call here on Hog Reaction. All right, we better step aside for a break. Got text coming in. Your phone calls, if you want to be part of it as well, it's 877-377-6963. We'll react to a 48-7 loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide, and Hog Reaction continues after this break.
This is Hog Football Reaction, streaming live now from hitthatline.com.
Right now at Randall Ford, get 0% for 72 months on a new 2019 Ford F-150 LXT, plus $1,000 special retail bonus cash. But that's not all. How about up to $13,000 off MSRP? Or how about only $299 a month? That's it, just $299 a month for a brand new 2019 Ford EcoSport, only from Randall Ford, America's fourth oldest Ford dealer. Stop in today. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers, or online at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Escape to Cherokee Casino West Salem Springs for Black Cat Jaguar drawings. At 10 p.m. on Saturdays, October 12th and 26th, one winner will choose a Jaguar XE or a Jaguar E-Pace. And at 10 p.m. on Saturdays, October 5th and 19th, someone will walk out with $20,000 cash. Plus, we'll hold hourly cash drawings every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. only at Cherokee Casino and Hotel West Salem Springs, U.S. Highway 412 and 59. The experience you deserve. See One Star Reward Club for full rules and details. Actual make and model may vary.
Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative is excited to introduce Wave Rural Connect. They're bringing state-of-the-art high-speed fiber internet plus TV and phone services right into the homes of all members. If you're an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Miss Anna's on Tassin is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Hello, would you like me to find workout classes near you?
There are no stores that sell glasses within 10 miles of your location.
There's enough artificial in the world. That's why Michelob Ultra is brewed with no artificial colors or flavors. With just 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. 2019 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 grams carbs, 0.6 grams protein, and 0.0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
Are you ready to experience that new car smell? At Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Stigler, Oklahoma, we are excited to put you in the driver's seat. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to our exceptional customer service. Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram sales staff is here to answer your questions related to our inventory, service, parts, financing, and more. See us at 1100 East Main Street or give us a call, 888-893-3130. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Shipping and handling. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. No additional cost. Some restrictions apply, so learn more at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your number one Arkansas fan.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
ESPN 95.3. Our special Razorback postgame coverage is presented by Bud Light, broadcasting live from the Cherokee Casino Mobile Studios.
Action here on our ESPN Arkansas affiliates, 96.3 Hot Springs, 95.3 River Valley, 104.3 Harrison, 99.5 ESPN Northwest Arkansas. Phil Elson, Ty Richardson, 877-377-6963, the Cherokee Casino hotline. Brought to you by Cherokee Casino and Hotel Roland. Check them out for the Jägermeister Halloween Party and Costume Contest. That's on Halloween night, I should say, Thursday, October the 31st.
I haven't asked you, what are you going as Halloween this year?
You missed me earlier today, Ty. I washed my face before I showed up for this show.
That's no fun.
I was zombified today. That's right. Had the torn clothes, had the blood dripping down from my forehead. Yeah, they had a little deal going on the Rock, so enjoyed that while I watched the football games. Let's be honest here. having your brains eaten out is probably more entertaining than watching Arkansas football play against Alabama.
I think that would have added to the live video portion of the broadcast, Phil, if you were just decked out. And it would have startled the crap out of me just flipping open my iPad, turning on FaceTime, and then just
especially with this like spooky lighting I've going on back here. This isn't like 12 o'clock in the afternoon where it's nice and bright and sunny outside.
You just need the music to go along with it, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre music along with it.
That's exactly right. Here's a text from Hacker and Harrison. He says, and he's got a little silver lining around the large black cloud. He says Arkansas beats Mississippi State next week to break their SEC losing streak. Goes 3-1 in November to finish 5-7. I got to tell you, based upon the teams you're playing and the way they're playing right now, Mississippi State, I think Arkansas could show out against the Bulldogs next. I'm not going to predict a win, not right now at least. Hogs should beat Western Kentucky, and I'm just saying that because they always should. LSU and Baton Rouge, I'm going to put that down as an L. Missouri in Little Rock. Now, let's be honest here. Missouri, they got smoked today on the road by Kentucky. Kelly Bryant, hamstring injury. Missouri's 0-3 on the road. So that's not a team that travels well. They play well in Columbia, not well anywhere else.
So that question was also asked by David White on our Periscope about the 3-1. His father of John David White, who was on the football team. And if you want to get the most positive outlook from me, this is not what I actually think, but to point off what you said, Mississippi State looks awful. Like, they are beyond reeling under Joe Moorhead. People in Starkville are ticked. So that's one. Two, Western Kentucky, regardless if Ty Story's coming here as a starting quarterback or not, revenge tour, you beat Western Kentucky. Three, LSU plays before they play Arkansas? Bama.
Yeah, they do. That's right, the week before.
And if you really want to look positive.
It's actually 2 weeks before. They get Bama, then Ole Miss, then Arkansas.
Okay, so I switched it up. But if you really want to look on the positive side of things, and this hadn't happened under Ed O yet, but it did happen under Les Miles, they take that Bama game like it's the national championship. So if Joe Burrow and them were to go into Tuscaloosa and either lose bad or just lose close, that could turn the tables. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just telling you the best possible scenario. And like you mentioned, Mizzou doesn't play well on the road. Maybe Kelly Bryant doesn't play in the game. You never root for injuries, like I always say. But maybe he's not participating in that game and you're going against Taylor Powell rather than Kelly Bryant. So that's the best case scenario. But even if that was all to occur, Arkansas, I think, would still find a way to flub it up. They just would. Like, they gifted, it's like Rick Schaefer brought up in the IMG postgame. They gifted Alabama 31 points. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you they would have won that football game or gotten close if they hadn't done that. But this team continues to hinder itself. Mental mistake after mental mistake after mental mistake, over and over and over again. If you're a lackluster football team like Arkansas is right now, you cannot afford to give the other team points continuously, week after week, and they continue to do that, Phil.
Yeah, 24 points off turnovers for Alabama. 4 turnovers for Arkansas, none from the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's go to the phone lines. Nelson's on the Cherokee Casino hotline. Nelson and Harrison, good evening. You're on Hog Reaction.
Hey, guys. I watched the game. Yeah, it was, the score looked terrible, but like you guys just said, you take the turnovers out, it's like 21-7 game.
Right, but you
really
can't. Unfortunately, you can't take the turnovers out. They're such a major part of of football. It's like taking errors out of baseball. You can't do it.
Right. But honestly, the last 4 games of the year, we might be able to take the turnovers out because if we play John Stephen Jones and KJ Jefferson and leave Snarkle on the bench. We can, honestly, all we need to do is just play John Stephen Jones like we did the drive that he scored. Just a
Well,
few
and isn't that the way that the offense under Chad Morris is supposed to run? More RPO, mobile quarterback, somebody that can run and throw. And you haven't seen that from Nick Starkley. You haven't seen that from Ben Hicks. And honestly, I think you saw more of that from Ty Story last year than you've seen from any of the two who've started a game. Maybe John Stephen Jones is the sort of quarterback to actually lead this offense.
Well, I was down after the Kentucky game, and I kind of knew. I mean, I kind of figured Auburn. I kind of figured Alabama. I didn't figure it'd be this bad because I didn't figure we'd have as many turnovers. But I figured that we were going to lose those games. But just like you was talking about, the silver lining that there is with this big dark cloud that's over Arkansas football right now, and, you know, that's there, is the fact that these last 4 games, I really see it being a lot of John Stephen Jones and KJ. I really do. I mean, I don't see why they would put Sarkle in there. I mean, he's not going to give you the best chance to win. There's no way.
Well, I appreciate the phone call there. Thanks so much. Yes, I mean, and look, Nick Starkle has not played the way that I thought he would have played, or that I think Nick, more than anybody, Chad Morris thought he would play. We'll be back for more Hog Reaction after the break. Stick around. We will be right back here on ESPN Arkansas and ESPN Northwest Arkansas.
Miss Anna's on Towson is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Archery season is underway, and black powder season is just days away. And Jelco Outdoors has all your black powder rifles and supplies to get you ready for your hunt. Brands like CVA, Traditions, and Thompson Center. Stop by Jelco Outdoors, your premier locally owned sporting goods store in the River Valley, for all your fall hunting gear. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Shipping and handling. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. No additional cost. Some restrictions apply, so learn more at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Made in the USA Furniture.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Made in the USA Speed Queen Washer and Dryers.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
In-store, no credit check financing.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
0 down and 0 interest with approved credit.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Family owned and no high-pressure sales staff.
Frank Rowe Furniture.
Find us on Facebook and Instagram, 405 Fort Street, Barling, Arkansas. Your Made in the USA headquarters.
Best seats in the house.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Rediscover old world cuisine, charm, and a romantic atmosphere at Wiedeker Wine Keller Restaurant. Wiedeker's is the perfect treat for any occasion, whether it's close friends, family, or a perfect night with your special someone. Enjoy unique Swiss, German, and American entrees while sampling Wiedeker's award-winning wines. Celebrating 52 years as an Arkansas tradition, Wiedeker Wine Cellars and Wine Keller Restaurant open 7 days a week on Highway 186, 4 miles south of I-40 at Exit 41.
What does that mean?
It means they are the best of the best.
Okay.
It means that Jody'sAuto.com was voted by the people that deal with them,
their customers,
as best at first getting the car in one of their 3 shops quickly, finding out what was wrong with it, fixing it right the first time, and charging the customers a fair price for the repairs.
Getting it in, getting it out quickly at a fair price. Huh.
Real simple. Jody'sAuto.com. Best of the best.
Jody'sAuto.com. One stop for the best tire brands at the best prices, price match guarantee, and these folks know tires. 3 oil change specials. One stop for all services, all repairs, all maintenance, towing, and fleets. 3 locations, 2 in Fort Smith and 1 in Van Buren. When you have made up your mind to live by 3 words, do what's right, being voted by your customers best of the best is quite an honor. Convenience and trust. since 1984. Jody'sAuto.com, best of the best.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith, from the Bush and Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3. To the Hog Reaction Show, the only show where you can give your postgame takes on the air. Call or text into the Cherokee Casino hotline, 877-377-6963. Our reactions, your reactions, all the reactions start right now.
Into the second hour of Hog Reaction. We'll be with you for another 60 minutes on all of our affiliates. 96.3 ESPN in Hot Springs, 95.3 ESPN in the River Valley, ESPN 104.3 Harrison, and our friends up there in Springdale at ESPN Northwest Arkansas 99.5. I'm Phil Elson, my friend Ty Richardson. Brenton's answering the phones, so get on the phones. Dial us up. Cherokee Casino hotline's open right now at 877-377-6963 as we react to a 48-7 loss for Arkansas at the hands of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Ty, this obviously an ugly ball game, and one question you have here is, what was with the change from John Stephen Jones to Nick Starkel near the end of the first half, moving the ball well? Starkel comes in, throws a pick six, all of a sudden 41-0. 84-yard return by Trevon Diggs. Ugly, and it does leave you scratching your head when you got a quarterback who's moving the ball down the field efficiently in a way that the other quarterback usually doesn't in the RPO. Why make the switch, especially to the quarterback who is known for making bad decisions inside the 20-yard line?
I didn't understand it, and I'm assuming that Chad Morris is going to / has been asked in the press conference. Hopefully we can find that quote or something soon. But it didn't make any sense to me. And I don't pretend to be a football expert. You and I talk about that we're no experts in the game of football. I feel like you have a pretty good level of knowledge when it comes to baseball, but our level of expertise when it comes to football doesn't make any sense. And I was actually sitting watching the game at Tawny's house with a former Arkansas player, and he was just confused as everyone else sitting down at the TV was. And it's not like John Stephen Jones was doing necessarily anything on that drive other than the fact that he was creating an element for the running backs to go, because he has the ability to run the football. Now, he's not a Kyler Murray, he's not a Jalen Hurts, he's not that type, but he has at least the element where you have to be more honest than you do with Ben Hicks or Nick Starkel. And so what that did, it opened up a couple lanes for Keem Boyd, Dabo Awele. They get 30, 40 yards, I think, on the drive. All of a sudden, they flip the script. Chad Morris puts back in Nick Starkel, and Arkansas fans are just confused. They're going, what's going on? We just had some momentum. What are you doing? And I'm really curious to his answer and his reasoning behind switching them up to when it seemed like they had momentum heading into Alabama territory, Phil.
I've looked through some of the sites we would usually be pouring over. I haven't seen a question or an answer about it. I did find our friend Hutch, Andrew Hutchinson from Rivals, that we have on every once in a while. He makes some very interesting points here. As you know, Hutch is so good at historical research and things like that. 41-0 halftime deficit was the largest halftime deficit for Arkansas since 1956. That's a little tough to digest.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow.
That's a long time, a very long time. Let's see other notes that he had here. Chad Morris. Let's see, Arkansas losing the last two games by a combined 82 points. It's the fifth worst by margin of loss in back-to-back games in school history. So you go back to 2013 when Arkansas lost by a combined 97 to South Carolina and Alabama. Funny how Alabama is part of this so often. So the last time you had losses like this, well, it happened to be last year. 84-point margin of loss to Mississippi State and Missouri at the end of the season. And that's when you thought things had hit rock bottom. But, you know, those teams weren't near the level as this Alabama team is. At least this is a top-ranked club. I guess if we're going to try to put that proverbial silver lining around the cloud.
Do you know Arkansas, looking at the box score, didn't have a penalty tonight? Hacker Harrison brought that up on the Cherokee Casino hotline. I wanted to double-check his fact, and it's correct. Arkansas did not have a penalty against Alabama tonight. Now, Alabama had 6 penalties for, 60. I just lost it. I just had it on my
6 for 60.
Yeah,
I mean,
6 for 60.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice. It's cute and all, but who cares?
Hey.
No penalties against Alabama when you got outscored by 41 points.
Just trying to bring the positives. I guess you're going to be – I'm usually the Debbie Downer when we're having the conversations. I feel like I'm more negative, so I guess I have to be the positive one tonight. Let me search out for – Let me search it out. It's hard to search out for positives.
It is. That's the problem. I just don't find the positives that you can find any in these back-to-back blowout losses. I mean, both of these games were over. Well, I mean, the Auburn game was tight going into the end of the third quarter. Things just got out of hand there. This one, there's no silver lining. I mean, it really just played out the way you thought it would. Even without Tua Tagovailoa, this Alabama team is pretty lethal. And who's up next for Alabama? Well, they get a bye week and then LSU. So I guess they'll be LSU showed out defensively today against Auburn. Auburn did the same thing, holding LSU to 23 points. That's our next game of the year, I guess. Alabama, LSU in a couple of weeks after Bama gets their bye week.
I'm curious how Tua will respond to the treatment he's going to be getting and him being off that ankle for this next week and a half or so. I'm assuming he'll start practice midweek next week or early next week. Will he be able to play? Because the timetable is still not 100% clear if he'll be able to participate against LSU. And I know that LSU has not been able to beat Alabama since 2011, and their offense doesn't ever show up when they play the Crimson Tide. But I just think this year's team's different, and Mac Jones won't be able to beat him. Alabama better hope that Tua Tagovailoa is ready to go. Because
you're going to have to have your guy there behind center if Joe Burrow's there for LSU.
And I know that Arkansas wasn't able to show it on the board tonight, but there were times that Arkansas could move the ball. Now, LSU finishes in the red zone. They finish drives. They have the wide receivers, whether it's Chase, whether it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire running the ball. I mean, they have some dudes that can put the ball in the end zone and the quarterback that will finish off the drive. So I'm curious how much that Nick Saban grills his defensive guys this week. And I know they only had 7. But, I mean, you saw his reaction. And I think this is what a lot of Arkansas fans were pointing out during the game, Phil. When they're up, I believe, 41-0 or 48-7, and he's screaming at a guy like they're down by 30. That's just the level of excellence that Nick Saban requires in his football program. For them to be up such a big margin at home and for a guy to make a little mental mistake that probably did not have any impact whatsoever in the overall outcome of the game, that's what he requires.
You know why he was yelling at him? He probably asked Coach Saban when they were going to get Tualia in. Yeah. Just like the kid reporter that got shouted at by, well, not shouted at, but that's where Saban went off on his rant. When's Tualia getting into the game? Hey, we're trying to win. We're trying to win by 50.
Yeah. And that was a fair question. It was a good question. I think a lot of people were curious if the Tua was not able to participate in the LSU game, if his ankle gave way or didn't hold up for that game, would Saban go to his younger brother over Mac Jones? Now, tonight, he elected to go with Matt Jones, the backup, to start tonight's game, but I think if push came to shove, potentially like it did in that national championship game against Georgia where Tua came in for Jalen Hurts, I think there's potential there for Talia to either come in or start over Mac Jones just to open up the offense more. He might make a few more mistakes, but it definitely stretches the field a little more than Mac Jones, who doesn't seem to have the same type of arm strength or just being a football player that the two Tagovailoa brothers are, Phil.
Want a stat here to try to digest before we go to the phone lines? Arkansas punted for more yardage than they gained offensively.
Eesh, no.
234 yards of punts from your boy Sam Loy on 6 punts, averaged 39 per punt, and the Hogs totaled 213 yards against the Alabama defense, and Alabama more than doubled Arkansas's offensive total, 459 yards to 213. Arkansas passed for 107, 280 yards in the air for Alabama, just 6 incompletions for Alabama, and while the Hogs ran for a 106, Alabama ran for 179. Let's go to the Cherokee Casino hotline. Dylan has dialed in. Dylan in the Rock. Good evening, Dylan. You're on Hog Reaction.
Yeah, hi. I have 2 questions, actually. The first one is regarding the Razorbacks. You know, we have so much young talent on offense in the skill positions. And I'm wondering what you guys think about the fact that we have no offensive identity and certainly no offensive success. Do you think we're going to be able to hold on to those players, or do you think they're going to head out for greener pastures? And then I have my second question is completely unrelated, and I just want to know from Phil specifically, since he's from Pittsburgh, who's going to win a national championship first, the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Arkansas Razorbacks? And I'll take my answer off the air. Thanks, guys.
That's a really good question, man. I got to say, since there's only 32 teams in Major League Baseball, I'll go with the Pirates winning a World Series before Arkansas wins a national championship in football. But I think Arkansas wins a national championship in baseball before the Pirates win a World Series.
Can I correct something real quick that Dylan and so many Arkansas fans have maybe overstated, or they're just not stating it correctly? Yes, there's talent, guys like Trey Knox, Traylon Burks, but you saw actual SEC-level freshmen tonight in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that are ready to play, that are coached up, that are ready to play in the Southeastern Conference. That is what the epitome of every single coach wants in college football, their freshmen to be able to go, is what you saw tonight. People always say, Arkansas is a young team. They got to get – Arkansas is younger – Alabama is younger than Arkansas, Phil. They play more young players than Arkansas. So that excuse, and I know it's a crippling one that people always like to resort back to with this team, but there's this idea out there, Phil, that it's all on the coach's fault. It's all on the coaches. Nothing has to do with the players. You can't blame the players because then they'll leave. Then they'll do whatever. You have to put some of the blame on the players tonight. Like, perfect example. You know that high snap that Mack Wilson was able to catch and then give to Najee Harris? Grant Morgan should have blown that up in the backfield. What happens? He misses the tackle, gets out for like 5 yards. That should have been a drive-changing play. Instead, Najee Harris is able to wheel it around the outside, get a couple positive yards. They've been set up in certain situations this year with the opportunity to make plays, and they've blown it. So this, I know people don't want to always criticize the kids. Yes, they're a couple years younger than me. Yes, you don't want to harsh on kids. They're not professional athletes. There's a different level of criticism, and I get that. But I'm just sick and tired, and frankly getting annoyed with the fact that you can't say some of the blame falls on these kids. And if you don't want to call them kids, some of the blame falls on these players. Someone has to say that, like, period. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's more to blame on them than Morris and his staff. But the idea that they're blameless and they're pure, like a lamb, is just so stupid and so asinine. And I'm so sick and tired of people saying that.
You know, and to Dylan's point about offensive identity, or really lack thereof, I don't know what the offensive identity is for Arkansas right now, other than to struggle in the red zone, you know, get some playmakers that don't get the ball enough coming their way. And I wouldn't know how to answer the question about would some of them want to be here after a season or two. You know, if things don't change in a way that they should. You know, does Traylon Burks want to stick around? Does Trey Knox want to stick around? When you have quarterbacks right now that can't get them the ball on a routine basis, and an offensive line that's, you know, not built to give the quarterback the time they need to get the ball to the playmakers. So I agree. You know, and I mean, are you really going to be able to establish your offensive identity against the Auburn defense, you know, or against an Alabama defense on the road in Tuscaloosa? But at the same time, you didn't see a real identity against Kentucky, against A&M, really for the last season and a half. The explosive plays that I thought was supposed to be a part of this offense, the tempo, the quick pace, it just isn't there. It isn't there. And the personnel is a big reason why it's not there as well. And Dylan, appreciate the phone call coming in from the Rock today. All right, let's step aside for a break here on Hog Reaction. Your calls, your texts continue as we react to a 48-7 loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Cherokee Casino hotline is open for you at 877-377-6963. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
This is Hog Football Reaction. Streaming live now from hitthatline.com.
Right now at Randall Ford, get 0% for 72 months on a new 2019 Ford F-150 LXT, plus $1,000 special retail bonus cash. But that's not all. How about up to $13,000 off MSRP? Or how about only $299 a month? That's it. Just $299 a month for a brand new 2019 Ford EcoSport, only from Randall Ford, America's fourth oldest Ford dealer. Stop in today. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers, or online at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Escape to Cherokee Casino West Salem Springs for Black Cat Jaguar drawings. At 10 p.m. on Saturdays, October 12th and 26th, one winner will choose a Jaguar XE or a Jaguar E-Pace. And at 10 p.m. on Saturdays, October 5th and 19th, someone will walk out with $20,000 cash. Plus, we'll hold hourly cash drawings every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. only at Cherokee Casino and Hotel West Salem Springs, U.S. Highway 412 and 59. The experience you deserve. See One Star Reward Club for full rules and details. Actual make and model may vary.
Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative is excited to introduce Wave Rural Connect. They're bringing state-of-the-art high-speed fiber internet plus TV and phone services right into the homes of all members. If you're an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Miss Anna's on Towson is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Hello, would you like me to find workout classes near you?
There are no stores that sell glasses within 10 miles of your location.
There's enough artificial in the world. That's why Michelob Ultra is brewed with no artificial colors or flavors. With just 95 calories and 2.6 carbs. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. 2019 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 grams carbs, 0.6 grams protein, and 0.0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
Are you ready to experience that new car smell? At Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Stigler, Oklahoma, we are excited to put you in the driver's seat. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to our exceptional customer service. Williams Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram sales staff is here to answer your questions related to our inventory, service, parts, financing, and more. See us at 1100 East Main Street or give us a call, 888-893-3130. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Shipping and handling. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. No additional cost. Some restrictions apply, so learn more at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your #1 Arkansas fan.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
ESPN 95.3. Our special Razorback postgame coverage is presented by Bud Light, broadcasting live from the Cherokee Casino Mobile Studios.
Hog Reaction continues, and we appreciate you tuning in. Get with us. The Cherokee Casino hotline open for you at 877-377-6963. I'm Phil Elson. Ty Richardson is there as well, and Brenton is on the phones. We got a text from the 479 here. He is pointing out that while Arkansas did not get charged with a penalty, there was a penalty that was declined. That's because Nick Saban didn't want to take away the pick six from Trayvon Diggs. There was a pass interference on the call that was waved off. So there was one. There was at least one, but it doesn't count because it didn't get it wasn't accepted.
And I think it was a questionable call to begin with, but I'd have to go back and look at that. I think you could have called it on either Trey Knox or the guy that he was pushing over, Phil. So
48-7 loss to Alabama. Let's react right now on the Cherokee Casino hotline. Dustin is on the line. Dustin in Ozark. Good evening. You're on Hog Reaction.
What's up, fellas?
Not much, Dustin. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I just had a couple of thoughts. I mean, one, if we're so confused about our O-line and our offense and how it's running, I mean, could they not be just as confused out there on the field?
That's
and
a
then
good
also,
point.
And I also think too that irregardless if Chad Morris gets another year or not, I mean, recruiting wise, I think he's just nailing the top on the coffin if he doesn't get some wins. So thank you, fellas.
I appreciate that phone call, Dustin. And look, that's something that we have spoken with some of our recruiting experts about.
Yeah.
You can recruit to the idea of immediate playing time and being part of a class that turns things around at an SEC program. But that only goes so far, and it only lasts so long. And from the decommits that you've seen from the past 3 weeks, although I do think that one of them has more to do with other things rather than a kid wanting to be part of a program or not. Nobody wants to be part of a program that is being embarrassed, in back-to-back weeks. And that's really what makes this last month so important, for Chad Morris, for his coaching staff, for guys that plan on sticking around for another year, or just to put your best face forward for next year or for the offseason, and to try to get this program to a level where you have more depth on the offensive line, where you've got more choices at quarterback, where defensively you're not going to get pushed around as much on the defensive line. I mean, that's one area where Arkansas's got to find a way to fix things. And Chad Morris, I mean, at least coming into this year, you looked at a bad 2-10 season, but said, look, I mean, he's brought in some recruits, and he has. But the recruiting class that you're looking at for next year, well, you still have plenty of time to sign kids and get commits. It isn't near that level that you saw coming in. I think if you were to look exactly a year ago, the rankings that Arkansas saw were much higher than they are right now.
They're like mid-40s, mid-50s, Phil, depending on if you're looking at Rivals or 24/7 or Scout. It just depends on the service that you like, or ESPN, whoever it may be. Yeah, it's not even close. And you were talking about kind of the bright light at the end of the tunnel, which was this recruiting class that Chad Morris brought in last year, second highest in program history. That's what you were excited about as an Arkansas fan. You had the 2-10 season, but you thought to yourself, you know what? He's got a good recruiting class coming in. There's good things that could happen in the future of this football program. Yes, the offense didn't look great, but you had a good half against Alabama in 2018. You can build on that. There were certain things you could say, you could build on this a little bit more, and then look at the talent that's coming in. But now, based on the fact that you still only won 2 football games in 2019, and yes, some of these guys have looked good that you've had coming in, but they haven't been incredibly game changers to a certain extent. Now you could say Traylon Burks, Trey Knox, and a couple other guys, but I'm talking like the difference between wins and losses. I don't think that either of these guys have been that to this point. So there's no bright light or lights at the end of the tunnel. It's just the train coming at you, and you don't know what to do.
Up next on the Cherokee Casino hotline, Matt in Waldron. Good evening, Matt. You're on Hog Reaction.
Yeah, everybody's going to want to change out the coach. Look at all the damn schools that keep changing out coaches. Tennessee, USC, UCLA, whole bunch of them. And all that happens is they stay mediocre. All right, this guy, he's okay. I think maybe we should stick with him a couple more years, see what happens. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, Matt, I got to say, you sound like you're between a rock and a hard place. You sound like you're just not quite sure.
Not a bottle in a hard place.
If Arkansas, yeah, good point. If Arkansas is in a position that they can get themselves out of right now, if you're and look, I'm not going to stand here and call for a new coach or anything. And he makes a really good point. I mean, you can't be a school that has a continuous coaching carousel going round and round. But at the same time, I mean, if you don't see in the last month positive steps, you can't have an end to the season like you had last year with the giant blowouts to Mississippi State and to Missouri. And maybe it happens against LSU, but this has to be a team that goes down fighting for at least the last month. And look, I do think, the more I look at the upcoming schedule, the more I think that 3-1. Mississippi State, Western Kentucky, LSU, Missouri. I'm not going to say it is definitely going to happen, but I think there's a chance of it. I think that if this team is able to put what has happened these last 2 weeks behind them, you can't forget about the pain of what it feels like to get stomped on for back-to-back weeks. But if you can find a way to put it behind you, grind forward, and play against a team that is struggling right now as badly as you are in Mississippi State, one win might get things going in the right direction.
Especially an SEC win. And I think we saw that in Brett Bielema this year, 2014, with the 17-0 win against LSU at home, which propelled them to that blowout win over Ole Miss the following week by 30+. You should have been Missouri if Brandon Allen doesn't get injured. And then the following week, the Texas Bowl, you beat the crap out of the Longhorns. That needs to happen. There needs to be a series of games that you can string together that will result in wins. And this, again, we're looking, Phil and I are like, we got our metal detectors on the beach, and we've been searching for hours for something like positive to say, but we just can't find anything. But that, like, the schedule down the stretch, it's not horrendous. It's not like you're playing Bama, Auburn, LSU down the stretch. LSU is a very, very good football team. Outside of that, you can't say that about Missouri. You can't say that about Western Kentucky, and you sure as heck can't say that about Mississippi State. These are winnable football games outside of LSU down the stretch. Now it's just a matter if you want to take advantage or not. Put up or shut up, Phil.
Want a couple positives. Joe Fouché, 13 tackles, 9 solos, played pretty well. Got a lot of the young players in there, especially in the defensive line. Colin Clay got out there, Isaiah Nichols, Zach Williams. You got some much-needed experience, at least against an SEC team, or at least their second or third stringers that they would need. John Stephen Jones was a bright spot. Maybe this is the quarterback moving forward. I'll be very interested to hear what Chad Morris has to say either in the post-game presser or on Monday about where John Stephen Jones fits in. And I mean, week after week, we keep talking about KJ Jefferson, a package for KJ, get him in the game here and there. There are 4 games left. You can redshirt playing 4 games. If KJ Jefferson doesn't play in the next month, what is he on the team for? All right, we'll step aside. We got a Bud Light scoreboard coming up around the SEC. Your calls, your texts on the Cherokee Casino Hotline, 877-377-6963, as we react to Arkansas's 48-7 loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Hog Football Reaction, streaming live now from hitthatline.com.
Barley is the soul of Budweiser. That's why we've been working with the same family-owned American farms for more than 50 years to harvest it. The secrets to growing this grain perfectly have been passed down through 3 generations. For them, it's a legacy. And it's why only the best barley and locally sourced ingredients are used to make Budweiser. Budweiser is proudly raised across America. This Bud's from our barley farmers. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you fire up a John Deere 1 Series tractor, you can tackle the job without wrestling the attachments. Hook up everything from a front loader to a drive-over mower deck in no time, so you can haul gravel, cut grass, or do any job in between. Because when things just click, work just gets done. And now get a 1 Series for just $99 a month at your nearest participating John Deere dealer. Nothing runs like a Deere. Run with us. Search John Deere 1 Series for more. 0% annual percentage rate. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Wiedeker Village Wine and Spirits is your full-service liquor store at exit 41 off I-40. Wiedeker Village Wine and Spirits has all your favorite brands of beers and craft beers, plus wines and spirits, all at great prices. And no one has more Arkansas wines, including Wiedeker's award-winning wines. Plus, they have a convenient drive-thru. It's not just a stop, it's an experience. Open 7 days a week. You heard that right, Sundays too. Wiedeker Village Wine and Spirits, your full-service liquor store at exit 41 off I-40.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Shipping and handling. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire or need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. No additional cost. Some restrictions apply, so learn more at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask shelter agents Marsha Cox or Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
The fall celebration is here at Crabtree RV. Take advantage of RV show pricing on hundreds of new models, Deer Hunter specials under $10K, and wholesale to the public prices on dozens of pre-owned RVs. And the most money for your trade. These deals are so good, it's scary. So stop in today. The new 2020s are arriving daily, and the all-new 2019 models must go. Sale ends October 31st. Only from Crabtree RV in Alma. Exit 13 off I-40. Crabtree RV, where your family's dreams come true.
Exxon and Mobil present How to Be Supremium. First, fill your tank with Exxon and Mobil's Supremium Fuel. New Synergy Supreme Plus. It keeps your engine 2 times cleaner for better gas mileage. Then get the rest of your car 2 times cleaner. My horn is so clean it squeaks. Sorry about that. So clean your engine with new Exxon and Mobil Synergy Supreme Plus. It's supreme. It's premium. It's Supremium. Fill up today or go to Exxon.com for details.
Synergy Supreme Plus gas compared to Synergy regular gas and poor fuel injected engines. Benefits based on continuous use and may vary.
If football is being played, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is the place to watch and enjoy. No matter the day of the week or time of the day, TGI Fridays has the game on and all your favorite beers, drinks, and appetizers, including $2 draft beers, $5 pitchers, and $3 specialty drinks. Plus delicious appetizers like loaded cheese fries, boneless wings, skillet queso, and lots more for only $5. Football, food, and fun all day long. If it's game day, it's TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology, a frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart, Pep Boys, Amazon, and other fine retailers.
Celebrate this spooktacular sizzling Sprint weekend with scary good savings at your local Sprint store. This weekend only, when you switch to Sprint, you can pick up the new iPad Gen 7 featuring an amazing 10.2-inch Retina display and smart keyboard on us when you add a new line on a qualifying plan. That's right, get an iPad Gen 7 on us when you add a new line at Sprint. All you need is approved credit. Plus, when you switch to Sprint, you'll get $100 via prepaid MasterCard for each new phone you lease. The more lines you switch, the more savings you'll get. There's never been a better time to switch to Sprint. Stop by your local Sprint store during Sizzling Sprint Weekend, October 25th, 26th, and 27th to learn more and check out other great deals. That's October 25th, 26th, and 27th at Sprint. Subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Requires port online registration and 60 days of service before card ships. Card terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Member FDIC. iPad 7th Gen 32GB, $0 per month after 1917 monthly credit for 24 months credit. Apply within 2 bills. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Tax due at sale.
ESPN 95.3. Our special Razorback postgame coverage is presented by Bud Light, broadcasting live from the Cherokee Casino Mobile Studios.
Hog Reaction brought to you by Cherokee Casino Roland, where the Jägermeister Halloween Party and Costume Contest is Thursday, October the 31st. Go figure, on Halloween night at Cherokee Casino Roland. Phil Elson here with Ty Richardson. If you want to be part of the show, you can get with us on the Cherokee Casino hotline, 877-377-6963. Day of football is complete in the SEC. Let's have a look at the Bud Light scoreboard. Missouri falls on the road again. The Kentucky Wildcats rise up after getting shut out by Georgia last week to defeat the Tigers 29-27. Kentucky improves to 2-4 in the SEC. Missouri is 2-2. Tennessee rolls over South Carolina, scoring 24 unanswered points in the second half to go on for a 41-21 victory. Jeremy Pruitt's Vols 2-3 in the SEC and 3-5 overall. South Carolina drops to 3-5, 2-4 in conference, and South Carolina unable to keep any momentum after that upset over Georgia, with back-to-back losses to Florida and now to Tennessee. Texas A&M rolls over Mississippi State. The Bulldogs fumbled the ball 3 times, threw an interception. A&M wins 49-30. Although Mississippi State running back Kylan Hill did run for 150 yards. Kellen Mond threw 3 touchdown passes. A&M is 3-2 in the SEC. Mississippi State right now 1-4 in conference. LSU doesn't cover, but they got the win, 23-20 in a defensive battle against Auburn. Now, why are you booing? Because I know you picked LSU to cover in that one. That's why you're booing.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Their field goal kicker missed an extra point, and they were up 10 at one point. I was like, they're gonna win this game by 10. And I'm gonna be off by half a point, but then Auburn cut it. Give credit to the Auburn defense. They didn't completely hold down Joe Burrow, but what Davidson, Brown, and some of those linebackers and DBs were able to do to at least contain LSU's offense to a certain extent, got after Burrow a little bit. Got to give them credit, but the real test, as you know, is going to come in 2 weeks when they head down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Burrow, 32 of 42, 321 yards, threw a touchdown, also an interception, but he also ran for 31 yards, including a score. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 136 yards on the ground. Watch out for Auburn freshman DJ Williams. Ran for 130. That guy's going to be a star moving forward. Elsewhere in the SEC. All right, that's all of it. Yeah, that's all the scores.
That's it.
In conference. Vanderbilt was off today, so was Ole Miss. Florida and Georgia got a bye before next week's cocktail party. So a look at the SEC standings right now. Bama continues to lead the West at 4-0. LSU right behind, a half game back at 3-0. Auburn 3-1 in third place. Texas A&M in fourth place at 3-2. Ole Miss idle today, 2-3. Mississippi State just ahead of Arkansas at 1-4. But both teams will come into Razorback Stadium next week with 4 straight losses. So the Eastern Division is led by Florida at 4-1. Georgia right behind them at 3-1, so that makes what already would have been an interesting game next week in Jacksonville the more interesting. Missouri at 2-1, South Carolina 2-3, Tennessee 1-3, Vanderbilt 1-3, and Kentucky is 1-4. And that is the Bud Light scoreboard. So, boy, you do have some interesting games next week, Ty. And for Arkansas, for me, it's probably a more interesting game than anything you saw these past 2 weeks, because you got a couple of clubs that are struggling, especially on the offensive side. And I just get the sense you're going to see a different starting quarterback on Saturday. And I think the way that John Stephen Jones played, for me, that's the way of the world now in college football, is to have a dual threat quarterback. And I don't think that Nick Starkel is ever a threat to run. I think Ben Hicks might be a little more fleet of foot than we thought coming into the season, but he's not really a threat. I think John Stephen Jones might be an interesting choice moving forward. And the fact of the matter is, why not try something else? Why not? Because offensively, it just isn't working with either Ben Hicks or Nick Starkel. So why not, ball something up, hock a loogie on it, throw it to the wall, and see if it sticks?
So I don't know what wise philosopher said this, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, it not working, and expecting a different result. So to your point, now that there are 4 games left remaining in the schedule, And I've laid out this plan early on in the year, and I think hopefully we'll see just a little bit. I don't expect KJ Jefferson to start against Mississippi State on Saturday, but as I've said before, I think a wise move might be to get him in these next 4 games, get him into packages, get him to sacks. We saw a little Traylon Burks tonight running out of the Wildcat. I don't know how much he's thrown the football since he's come from Warren and moved to receiver at Arkansas. He did a little quarterback stuff there, but he's been a receiver the majority of lately. And so you wonder, do you get much of KJ Jefferson? Does he elect to go with John Stephen Jones? But it's hard for me right now, especially with Hicks looking like injured. I think the only reason he was dressed in uniform was to just worry Nick Saban, but just his defensive staff to just go back and forth on who was starting. I don't ever think Ben Hicks was going to play tonight because of his injury. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just giving you my opinion on that. So now it's I think people are sick of Starkel. They're wanting to see another quarterback. That being John Stephen Jones. You give him a shot against the Bulldogs this weekend. You see what happens. But I don't know. It's been so up in the air this season. There's no recent game or past game, Phil, that you can point to and say, well, this guy's going to start to this happen, because there's so many different scenarios that have come into the season and then are now at its point where you have no idea what's going to happen against Mississippi State on Saturday.
Just doing a little math here to figure out what Arkansas quarterbacks are for the year. So now they've thrown with the 3 interceptions today. That is 12 interceptions against 10 touchdowns. And Arkansas quarterbacks have completed 160 passes on 298 attempts, so completing just 54.6% of their passes. Nick Starkel has thrown 10 interceptions against 7 touchdowns, also the fumble that he dropped in this game today. So, I mean, these are not and I don't have the numbers from last year's quarterbacks in front of me, Ty, but I have a feeling they were better than you're seeing right now. That's shocking. Absolutely shocking that Ty Story and Cole Kelly and Connor Noland were just more successful throwing the football up until this point. And it's not like you saw anything in the last month, last season, that really said, these are quarterbacks that are developing under this coaching staff. So I think it felt like a given going into this season that you upgraded at quarterback and that you upgraded pretty decently. It turns out you might have taken a step backwards, which just is mind-blowing to bring in graduate transfer and a guy who set records for career passing yards at SMU. And you've taken a step backwards in the quarterback position.
Phil, to go off the statistic you just mentioned, Arkansas now has thrown the most interceptions in the SEC and are tied with some of the worst in college football. They're top 5 in college football in terms of interceptions thrown. You want to know who leads this list? Now, this list is not currently updated up to this week because there's games still going on. But as of last week, who's the number 1 team throwing interceptions in college football? Whose quarterback that Arkansas made look like a Heisman Trophy candidate?
Is it San Jose State?
San Jose State with
Josh
13
Love?
picks. I don't know if they're all Josh Love's picks, but San Jose State is leading college football as of last week with 13 interceptions. So if that is not a more embarrassing stat right there, I mean, there's plenty of embarrassing stats that Arkansas football is associated with right now, but that's just another one to add to the list, Phil.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners never wanted to hear about San Jose State again, but did you see they went into Army and won today? San Jose State beats Army in West Point.
So you're saying it's a quality loss? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm not at all. 34-29 final score. Love threw for 314 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he had himself another good game. Not quite the numbers he put up at Razorback Stadium. I'm never going to say that wasn't as bad of a loss as it looked. It was every bit as bad of a loss as it looked. But San Jose State's not quite as bad as they had been the previous few years, apparently. I was shocked to see that they beat Army today. Not like Army is great, but Army has had themselves some decent seasons of late and a couple of good games this year too. All right, we're reacting to Arkansas's 48-7 loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Get with us. 877-377-6963 is the Cherokee Casino hotline. We're open for one more segment, and we will be back right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
This is Hog Football Reaction. Streaming live now from hitthatline.com.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code. Lesson 42. This is how you say happy hour. It's happy hour. Let's go get some Bud Lights. That's it for today.
Brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light. Crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Escape to Cherokee Casino West Salem Springs for Black Cat Jaguar drawings. At 10 p.m. on Saturdays, October 12th and 26th, one winner will choose a Jaguar XE or a Jaguar E-Pace. And at 10 p.m. on Saturdays, October 5th and 19th, someone will walk out with $20,000 cash. Plus, we'll hold hourly cash drawings every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. only at Cherokee Casino and Hotel West Salem Springs, U.S. Highway 412 and 59. The experience you deserve. See One Star Reward Club for full rules and details. Actual make and model may vary.
That's the secret phone. The what? Remember? I told you my dad's a shelter agent. When that phone rings, he rushes out to save the day. Whether someone's home or car gets damaged, my dad is always there to help. He has the coolest job ever.
Well, my dad's an astronaut.
That's cool too, I guess.
Find your insurance superhero at shelterinsurance.com.
Call me, Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Or call me, Jim Malum in Charleston.
A change in season means it's time to check your tires. And Goodyear Auto Service has just what you need to make this fall great. Think weekend getaways, scenic drives, and great deals, like up to $225 in savings this month. That's $75 in instant savings when you purchase and install a set of 4 new Goodyear or Dunlop tires, plus up to $150 back on select tires by online or mail-in rebate when you use your Goodyear credit card. But hurry, this offer ends October 31st. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GoodyearAutoservice.com to learn more.
It's time for some straight talk. You know those football players who are all talk, no show? Well, big wireless carriers aren't much different. Well, Straight Talk Wireless doesn't give you the hype, just the savings. For just $45 a month, you'll get the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. No contract. All on the same 4G LTE networks as the big guys, but up to half the cost. Savings delivered right to your wallet. Only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are all about football. And TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has all-day specials every game day. TGI Fridays has the game on and all your favorite beers, drinks, and appetizers, including $2 draft beers, $5 pitchers, and $3 specialty drinks. Plus delicious appetizers like loaded cheese fries, boneless wings, skillet queso, and lots more for only $5. Football, food, and fun all day long. If it's game day, it's TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Copays, codes, coupons. Searching for savings on prescriptions is so complex, it's like you need a doctorate degree. Fortunately, CVS Pharmacy employs thousands who have one, our pharmacists. Plus, we built a proprietary search tool to help them find you savings on prescriptions. You don't need to know all of that complicated stuff. You just need to know someone who does. Your friendly doctor of pharmacy at your local CVS. Savings vary. Not all patients eligible for savings. Ask pharmacist for details.
Don't you hate scrambling on the road when you're looking for a place to spend the night?
We all do. That's why when you travel for work, stay at La Quinta by Wyndham.
They've got everything you need to tackle the job, from free high-speed Wi-Fi to a spacious workspace right in your room.
Plus, their Bright Side breakfast comes with waffles, eggs, fruit, and meat.
Now, that's a game changer.
They've got over 900 locations so you can cover the gridiron.
And best of all, they're part of Wyndham Rewards, so those extra points really add up.
Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you triumph. Book direct at lq.com.
Celebrate this spooktacular sizzling Sprint weekend with scary good savings at your local Sprint store. This weekend only, when you switch to Sprint, you can pick up the new iPad Gen 7 featuring an amazing 10.2-inch Retina display and smart keyboard on us when you add a new line on a qualifying plan. That's right, get an iPad Gen 7 on us when you add a new line at Sprint. All you need is approved credit. Plus, when you switch to Sprint, you'll get $100 via prepaid MasterCard for each new phone you lease. The more lines you switch, the more savings you'll get. There's never been a better time to switch to Sprint. Stop by your local Sprint store during Sizzling Sprint Weekend, October 25th, 26th, and 27th to learn more and check out other great deals. That's October 25th, 26th, and 27th at Sprint. Subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Requires port online registration and 60 days of service before card ships. Card terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Member FDIC. iPad 7th Gen 32 GB, $0 per month after 1917 monthly credit for 24 months credit. Apply within 2 bills. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Tax due at sale.
ESPN 95.3. Our special Razorback postgame coverage is presented by Bud Light, broadcasting live from the Cherokee Casino Mobile Studios.
All right, wrapping up Hog Reaction with our last segment here. I appreciate all of you tuning in and being a part of the show today. Still have some time to get with us. 877-377-6963, reacting to a 48-7 loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And let's go right now to Mark in Delaware. Mark, what's going on in the first state today?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Well, it could be better. I'm getting pretty upset about the state of the Razorback football program. It's pretty embarrassing. As an out-of-state Hog fan, it's man, going to work, it's brutal. I haven't heard you guys talk about the buyout issue. I know a lot of people the heat's on him, but I think he's good this year, but what are the possibilities of, if things don't turn around, him being let go next year? I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
All right, so let's see. I think we got into this a little bit a few days ago. I don't have my notes in front of me, but is it a $7 million buyout once you get past December 1st, I believe?
Goes down to $7 million. I'll look that up real quick. I was thinking the $7 million figure you're talking about is what they still owe Bielema, but had the stop check on it.
I think that's exactly right. I think I was remembering the buyout from the previous coach.
I think
now
that
going into an escrow account.
I think that Morris's buyout is like 10.9. Hold on, let's see. For example, if he is fired for simplicity's sake on December 31st or below, he's owed $9.8 million.
Okay.
And then after that, I think it's, well, you could be right. It's at 7.35.
Effective January 1st, 2020, looking at language of the buyout and the contract that's at footballscoop.com. Effective January 1st, 2020, the payout would be $9.8 million.
Yeah.
So monthly installments of $204,166.67. So there you go. I don't think it'll happen this year, but weirder things have happened.
Yeah, the potential is there a lot more likely for next year. I think it's amped up a lot more. If the pressure wasn't on this year, which we know it is already, the potential of them buying out his contract environment is above. And I mean, it's there. It's like you said. Like again, it's never easy in the SEC. You're not getting a Utah State, Toledo. I've just insert crappy football program here in the next 4 games. But this is not, outside of LSU, this is not a horrendous stretch of football games, Phil. Mississippi State is not the football team that many national college football people thought they were going to be. They're not that good. Western Kentucky's Western Kentucky. Kind of like San Jose State, you should never lose to them. Unfortunately, you did this year. Then, if we're really being honest, Arkansas's beaten LSU plenty of times when they had no business being in the football game. Hence, Triple OT, 2007. So that's not 100% out of the picture if you want to be the most optimistic person out there. And then Missouri, what are they on the road again? 0-3 this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, losses at Wyoming, and now in Vanderbilt, and also Kentucky earlier today. And in a couple of those games, it didn't even look like they belonged in the same field.
We're trying. We're trying. Again, it goes back to the point I made earlier. We're out on the beach with our metal detectors, trying to find something positive to say about this football team. Trying to
just looking for a penny in the sand.
Looking for anything to find. And it's so hard right now because the thing that you want to happen to this football team most, that Chad Morris said was going to happen when he came to campus, when he arrived at the University of Arkansas, was the offense was going to explode. We're going to have one of the most explosive offenses in the country. Those were the exact words out of Chad Morris's mouth. And it has been anything but that since his tenure has begun at Arkansas.
Well, and the defense continues to get pushed around. Just looks like an overmatched team against the really good teams. I mean, you talk about Auburn, that's a team that still, I think, could be playing on January 1st in a New Year's Six Bowl. Alabama, this team's going to be playing for the national championship, or at least it looks like they will. But it's all there in front of you now for these next 5 weeks, with a bye week in between games against Mississippi State and Western Kentucky, and then LSU and Missouri. This is where, if the program's going to turn around at all, if there's going to be any signs in the second season under Chad Morris, it's going to happen these next 2 weeks. You know, if you feel like you've walked the plank, you knew you had to bite the bullet against two great programs, and they showed you just how great they are and really how much of a separation there is between the great programs in the SEC like Alabama or just the really good ones like Auburn. Now you're facing a team in Mississippi State that's on the downswing. You know, and look, coaches turn programs around. It has happened. James Franklin did it at Vanderbilt. Dan Mullen did it at Mississippi State. It can happen at Arkansas. Maybe Chad Morris is the guy. It's just right now you haven't seen the signs to point you in that direction. That's Hog Reaction, and we appreciate you tuning in today for our sponsors, Cherokee Casino Roland and Cherokee Casino and Hotel in Roland and West Siloam Springs. For Ty Richardson, I'm Phil Elson. And for all of us on ESPN Arkansas and ESPN Northwest Arkansas, wishing you a great rest of your weekend.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of